In the evening, we went to dinner at the College of the Ozarks, and this is a few miles from Forsyth, just up the hill from that family entertainment mecca, Branson. The College of the Ozarks is a unique kind of Christian-oriented college where all the students attend for free. In return, they have work they have to perform regularly on campus. Clearly, this is another important part of what made Joe Joe.
We're at College of the Ozarks now. This is where I spent my undergraduate years. We're at Point Lookout, Missouri, just outside of Branson, Missouri. What's unique about this school is that every full-time student works 15 hours a week at a workstation here on campus, and that covers the cost of tuition. So the school was founded on the premise that local men and women could come to school here who couldn't otherwise afford to go to college. So most of the students here are local people who come from families who couldn't otherwise afford to send them to school. So I was fortunate enough to be able to have this school and work my way through college. I actually worked here on campus, and I worked a job off campus as well. What this school represents as far as the work ethic and being able to provide opportunity to people who are willing to work hard kind of parallels with, you know, what a lot of my campaign is about. I mean, I believe government should help people, but I also believe people need to be willing to work hard and play by the rules and kind of meet in the middle and do their part.
After looking around the campus, we went to the very fancy dining hall located in the very fancy lodge on campus, where the bulk of the work is done by students. We found out that the College of the Ozarks has some impressive notoriety based on the bigwigs who come and speak at commencement. Over dinner, we visited some more with Joe, and he shared a little bit of his story about how he came to run for office this year at this time. He gave us some information on his perspective on the poverty in his district. And then lastly, why he believes that it's such an important year for youth to participate in the political process.
I was sitting in my office checking emails one day, and someone had forwarded to me an email that had been passed around between different players within the party, and they were discussing the young attorney from Forsyth being a potential candidate for United States Congress. And so I got a phone call, and the original plan was for me to meet with the Central Committee from the 8th District at the state meeting in St. Louis to discuss, you know, the option of running for Congress. And after about 10 or 15 minutes, they started introducing me up there as the 8th Congressional District candidate. Instead of holding off and waiting, you know, till I was married or waiting till I had more experience, I really felt, you know, this time, you know, in this election and in the place where I grew up was really what I needed to do. I just felt very compelled. You know, the time was now. I just couldn't sit back anymore and wait for more experience or wait, you know, to get married to look better as a candidate. I mean, I really, it was just time for me. We're the 12th poorest district in the nation, and 20% of our people in this district live in poverty. And that's after 30 years of Emerson representation, starting with Bill Emerson in 1980 and Joanne Emerson in 1996. And, you know, I would really like to fight hard to represent and lift people out of poverty. I mean, you know, through tax, you know, a new brand of fiscal responsibility, tax cuts that reward directly the hardworking people in the middle class, and instead of, you know, rewarding big companies and oil companies with tax subsidies. And it's so important for people in my generation to get involved. I mean, it's no secret that voting is and elections are controlled by the older generations. The older people will get out and vote, and unfortunately, while my generation could have such power and such influence in elections, historically we haven't shown, that we will go out and vote on election day. So, the war issue and financially, we're going to be paying for this. Our children are going to be paying for this for years. So, if you don't agree with the war and if you don't agree with borrowing money to fight a war at $343 million a day, I think it's pretty important that you go out and vote.